What?
Fig Newtons.
Fruit and cake. Error performing query. I don't know what that means, but it's all going. So, all right. So today we're going to find out something that Madeline talked to me. Actually, she brought it up like side conversation kind of thing, and she's like, "Oh yeah, I totally have this, and I don't do this," and I'm like, "Wait a minute, that's so weird because that's totally how I think," and I just thought that's how everybody was. So, our topic for today is aphantasia. It means lack of mind's eye.
Lack of mind's eye.
Lack of mind's eye. So basically, what you think for your mind's eye is, the ability to see things and have, I don't know, you're going to have to explain that part because I don't have it.
It's the ability to be able to recall an image or a place or something in your mind. Like when somebody says, okay, imagine being on the beach.
You could see a beach.
You can, close your eyes or do what you think or think in your mind, and you can picture a beach. It's the inability to be able to picture things in your mind.
Yeah, and seeing all these things I thought was just like a phrase or a saying or something like that, because when I close my eyes, there's just like a blank slate. It's just blackness, and there's, it's kind of like if you had a black picture with the pixelation turned way up, if you're doing like photography kind of things, and you have like a picture that you put in there that is only like a 2% filter for, opacity. So it just kind of flickers for a second. And when I say a second, I'm talking like the briefest moment of second that don't get anything. It's really bizarre. So I just thought that's how it was. You close your eyes, you have nothing. So what I want to talk about is some of the things that I found out that people can do that I can't do. It's the weirdest thing. Counting sheep. I had no idea you got people actually count sheep. Like, I would sit there. I remember probably being 8 and thinking, oh, you're supposed to count sheep when you can't go to sleep. So, okay, I'll sit here. 1, 2, like, what am I doing? I'm just counting. Like, this is boring. Why do people do this?
And see, for me, because I can picture things like most people can, I think, because aphantasia is like a lower percentage of the population, I'm assuming, right? See, for me, okay, close your eyes and count sheep. Okay, so I close my eyes, I can see the grass, and I see a little fence, and I can see a little sheep. 1, 2.
Yes, I don't have any
3.
of that.
I can picture a grass, a fence, and a little sheep running up to it and jumping over it, and I count 1.
See, I'd be interested to talk to Madeline about this and see exactly what her thoughts are and how she reacts. Like, there's different levels to it. So apparently I'm like completely mind eye blind. I have nothing. You say that you have phantom smells or tastes? Like you can think about a cookie and smell a cookie?
Yeah, like if you were to all of a sudden just now say, okay, imagine walking into the kitchen and smelling meatloaf cooking in the oven. Yeah, okay, I can imagine, I can imagine myself walking into the kitchen, and I can actually recall what the smell of meatloaf smells like.
Like, I know what meatloaf smells like, but it doesn't do anything.
I can even picture a meatloaf, and I can actually, take a moment and actually, yep, I know what the smell of meatloaf smells like. I can recall that smell in my mind.
I don't have that either. All right, so relaxation methods. We talked about imagine yourself on a beach. Can't do that. Undressing somebody with your eyes just got a whole lot creepier because I didn't know you could do that. Dick pics. Oh my gosh. No wonder girls are terrified about dick pics because I'm like, whatever. It's creepy. It comes, it goes, you know.
No.
Apparently it doesn't go.
No, you see it and then you'll be sitting there at work doing something and be like, oh, damn it. Why? Why, Ben, did you send me that dick pic?
Alright, another one that I thought was interesting was seeing a flashback on a TV show and realizing that's actually how it works. So I guess you'll just be standing there and you get a flashback of a moment in time or something that happened.
Yeah.
Like a little mini movie that plays in your head for a second.
Like that time I wiped out on my bike in the church parking lot. Yeah, I can still remember everything. I remember, you know, I can recall riding in the church and seeing my hands on the handlebars and trying to do that jump and totally having that handle pop off and
like I can tell you stories about dumb things that I've done, but it's almost like it's in the back of my mind as a little card catalog, and I just kind of pull out that card and read the story that says this is what happened that day and this is what I was doing. But there's no video that plays with that.
Yeah, I have with certain situations and stuff. I have literally a mind's video that plays of everything that I saw happen during that instance.
That's crazy. Oh, being able to describe a scene of a crime for police, like a car, the person, the clothes, the face. I, for years, have been terrified about actually seeing any kind of a crime where I had to describe something for somebody because I'd be like, he was a guy. I think he was white. He might have been wearing a shirt. Yeah, that just described, like, what, 3/4 of the population?
Yeah.
I got nothing on that. It was a car that might have been gray or green. It's a big difference. The ability to recall the image of a loved one's face or never being able to see them again in your mind. Oh. Photographic memory. Okay, this is one that got me. Okay, so in my mind, of someone who has a photographic memory, because if I remember right, Amanda Mitchell says that she remembers all sorts of crazy things, and Emily uses her as her own little personal Wikipedia because she's like, Emily or Amanda, tell me this. And so to me, somebody with a photographic memory was just somebody who had like this different level of thinking that I didn't have, and then was super awesome at it. But it's almost like there are 3 levels, and I'm on the bottom tier, and Morgan's on the middle tier, and then Amanda's on the top tier.
I think instead of it being more just like a low, middle,
well,
high
I mean,
tier,
it's a level.
There's everything in between. Like I'm not right in the middle. I'd be kind of in between.
Yeah,
photographic and
giving
stuff,
like really generalization.
Because I can remember, I have, as you've said many times, I have a
weird
crazy
memory.
weird memory for remembering weird little details.
What was I wearing the day we met?
She was wearing
20 some odd years ago.
It wasn't the day we met. It was
the day I licked your head.
It was the day I licked. All right, that's a tongue.
The day I licked your head and claimed you as mine.
Yeah. The day before I moved out to Indianapolis. We were at Sanctuary upstairs in the bar. I remember it was that wall that separated the bar and the bathroom where you'd go back into the bathroom area.
Okay.
I was sitting on a bar stool with my back against that wall, and you were there on my left side, and you licked my head. Yeah, claimed me as yours. But you had on these vinyl boots, high heel boots that came up to like here, and they had like straps that went across the back.
They were like standard
demonia kind
bondage,
of
bitch boot kind of things, except they were strappy instead of knee high.
Those, a tight kind of skirt that was velvety, black.
I think I still have that skirt.
White button-up shirt and like a black kind of underbust corset.
I think I still have that too. I kept a lot of weird things. So, can I remember any of that situation? No.
She remembers. Well, you can.
Well, the more that you talk about it, I'm like, yeah, that totally sounds
remember-
like something I would do.
She remembers licking my head.
I do remember licking your head because at that point in time I was in this weird texture phase where it's like, have you ever licked somebody with fishnets?
Licked me from here to here.
If you ever lick somebody with fishnets, it's an interesting texture sensation. Just don't get your tongue bar stuck in it. All right. Okay. So, another thing that goes with me and my like photographic memory thing and how I thought that was something that was just super awesome people. So if I think that everybody's like me and they're not seeing anything, then seeing things makes you schizophrenic. Or they're ghosts. Because I don't see anything. And if it's not there, then that means that it's either some kind of ghost that's doing it, or you're schizophrenic,
or
and you're just...
hallucination.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's why I just didn't think anything of it, because I'm like, well, I'm not schizophrenic, so I must not be seeing anything. I've also never done drugs, so I wouldn't know what it's like to be able to visualize any of that kind of stuff. So, you know, I've never been on an acid trip or anything like that.
Yeah, see, and that's one thing is that I can... Okay, I haven't done drugs either, but because I have that type of memory where I can picture things, when somebody talks about being on an acid trip and what they were seeing, I can, for the most part, visualize what they were seeing, even though I haven't seen it myself.
See, and to me, it just sounds like the drugs do something to your brain that triggers something that make you be able to see something that you don't normally see. I didn't realize that you guys already saw things, and then it was just bringing out more things for you to see.
So I guess essentially what I'm saying is, if somebody describes something that they hallucinated to me, I can get, for the most part, a mental picture of what they hallucinated.
Okay. Oh. Doing math in your head doesn't make you a wizard.
Oh. Yeah, that's really gotta suck, let me tell you.
So...
I wouldn't be able to do my job.
well, and we'll talk about that in a second, but I suck so much at math because, especially when you start putting letters into the numbers, I just can't do it. Chris Axbaum says he has drugs for you.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Jessica. But doing math, like, maybe it's because I don't have the visual chalkboard, and I have to do fingers. Like, I can math up to a certain degree, but I'm like basic addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. I could do that. You know, I could do some basic fractions. I took bare minimum math in school just so that I could get done with it. I hated math, but I took lots of science and English.
Real quick, let me throw one thing. Hey, Chris, about those drugs that you got for me, yeah. I know what you've done with your coworkers and habanero peppers, so I'm really, really leery about any drugs that you've got coming my way, all right?
Oh, so do you remember the conversation that we had the other night where you said, oh, because you don't see things, imagine things the way I do, you wouldn't be good at my job. And I said, that's where you're wrong.
Yeah,
because we imagine
and I guess I
things
phrased
different.
it wrong.
And that's fine. We were having a candid conversation, and
and
I'm not there to...
I'll admit I phrased that wrong. It's not you wouldn't be able to do my job well. It's just certain parts of my job you would struggle with. And
that's entirely possible. But we both think in different ways.
Yeah,
and
that's
you're
true.
really good at your job because of the way that you think.
That's true.
You know,
that's true.
Nolan's really good at his job because of the way he thinks. And Emily is really good at, everybody's really good at what they do because of the way that they do things. Now, can I do your job? Probably. Do I want to? Fuck no. Would I murder everybody in your core group within like the first 10 minutes? Yes.
Well, also,
Yes,
I guess
would.
it does kind of come down to the way people think and the way people can mentally picture things.
Right, because you were talking about like
because I
building
could-
things and turning it and having to figure out where to put the strut system, and I'm like, well, I
Yeah.
can do that. I just come about it in a different
Yeah,
way.
because I'm really good at taking raw materials like metal and stuff and fabricating a sign like the e-center sign and stuff that you see driving down the street. You know, the jumbotron that hangs inside of the energy
Delta
solution
Center?
arena and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I can take things and I can build things like that out of raw materials with some blueprints, a few prints and stuff. But back in the old days, we didn't even have blueprints or shop drawings. They just gave us a picture. Here, make the sign look like that. Okay,
and see,
so
and
we
as
had to
long as
figure
I
it
had
out.
the blueprint,
But
I could do it because
yeah,
like all the dresses and stuff that I make come with a pattern, and then I start to make it. But that's where you're better at your job than I would be, because I would need the blueprint, whereas you don't.
yeah. Sorry, I'm going off on something else, not with you. I'm trying to say that I'm good at doing something like that, whereas like Nolan is insanely good at like computer stuff. I'm stupid beyond belief when it comes to computer stuff. I'm completely lost, and I think it's just
That's
because,
why everybody has a different job.
you know, yeah, my way of thinking and mentally picturing things doesn't correspond well with stuff that works on a computer. But
Yeah.
as far as taking things and fabricating something, I do that better.
Yeah.
And I think it's just the way people's minds work differently. So like you said, because you can't picture things, your mind works to make things work better for you on a daily basis.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't mean that we don't both come to the conclusion at the end. It just
Yeah,
means
yeah.
that we go about it in different
in
directions.
different ways. But yeah, and that's something that I like she's saying, how all her life she's never been able to picture things in her mind, so that's what she thought everyone was like. Same with me. I can picture things in my mind, so I always thought everybody can
Yeah,
picture things
Because
in their
it's
mind.
not something that's brought up. You don't go to your friend and go, "Hey, can you see that thing?" You're like, you just assume that you can. So, life flashing before your eyes. I thought that it was one of those things like you're tragic, you're dying, you're close to death, you're seeing that little light flashing, and then, your life just kind of flashes before your eyes. And I'm like, okay, I can hang with that, but as somebody who died once,
Yeah, no,
it was a long time ago. He's fine now.
Yeah, I didn't get that option of having my life flash before my eyes.
Now, were you in the coma for it?
Probably. Yeah, I was out. I guess.
All right. Well, now
on
we
that
brought it
hospital-
up. You have to
I
actually
guess on
say
the
the
hospital
story.
table. Okay. All right. So basically,
Morgan and energy drinks don't mix.
yeah. Apparently, my heart doesn't like things that take you and rev you up. So yeah, cocaine would probably officially kill me. I had some Red Bull energy drinks and stuff. I had a little bit too many, and basically, one night at about 11:45 at night, I was admitted into the hospital with an irregular heartbeat, and my resting pulse rate was 174 beats
This
per
was back
minute.
with Dina, if anybody wants to ask
Yeah.
how long that was.
It was back in 2010,
9, I think.
2010. But yeah, my resting pulse rate was 174 beats per minute. It was a regular heartbeat. They took me back. They hooked me up to the EKG and stuff. Okay, I'll try to make it really quick and short.
He died, and
They
then came
gave me they gave me some Ativan to calm my heart down and stuff, and gave me something to relax. Basically, I basically drifted off to sleep, and I guess while I was asleep, I had this. It was like I was floating. It's not like I was floating or flying, but I was not on the ground. I was in the air, but it was like I was in a cloud, and there was no sound other than just like wind gently going past my ears, and everything was very calm and very peaceful. I couldn't really feel anything, so to say, like cold or hot. I wasn't happy. I wasn't sad. There wasn't anything. It was
just very
it was
neutral.
extremely peaceful and calm. And I was sitting there thinking, "Oh, this is kind of nice." Then I heard this just this wailing sound. And I
Was
like,
it Dina?
Oh, good. No. I was like, oh my God, what the hell is that sound? That is irritating. Fuck. Because anybody that knows me knows that there's certain sounds that click in my brain that make me want to kill people and hurt people. But the sound was, I'm like, okay, I got to stop this out. It's driving me nuts. And I remember waking up and Dina was right there on the side of my bed in the hospital looking at me just like terrified. And I started looking at her. I'm like, what the hell is that sound? She goes, that's the heart machine. And I stopped and I listened and it was beep, 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 the normal heart machine beep. Oh, okay, that was weird. Well, I'm going to rest a little longer. Out I was. Well, later after we got home from the hospital and stuff, I was telling her about that, and she says, yeah, I was sitting there and the heart machine flatlined for about a good 30, 40 seconds and stuff. And she said, I thought you were dead. And she came over to check on me and stuff, and that's when basically, I don't know if I actually died or I don't think I died. I think my heart was just resetting itself, or maybe I was on my way out, and just my sheer hatred of certain sounds brought me back to this stupid place.
But the short part of this story
anyway,
is you did not have your life flash before your eyes.
I did not get the chance to have my life flash before my eyes. But I can remember everything that went on inside my head. I can still picture it inside.
All right. If I say to you, go to your happy place, what do you do?
I am on a pirate ship in the middle of the Caribbean drinking rum.
Like you can see it.
Yes, I can even taste the rum.
I got nothing.
Arr.
Like I can imagine as much as I can imagine, and like say that I'm in Disneyland, but there's no picture. There's just like, again, I'm gonna go with there's the card catalog and no video. I'm kind of old school. There's no computer in my little brain. There's no monitor. It's just a card catalog, and you're reading words, and you're just kind of going, oh, Disneyland. Okay, we'll put you there. Okay, you're in Disneyland now.
That sucks.
Oh, I can't unsee that.
Oh, God. Yeah, there are definitely things that I've seen in my
Jessica
life.
died twice. Glad you're still alive.
That there are things that I've seen in life that I can never unsee.
Oh, which also goes along with picture people naked when you are publicly speaking, which I always thought was a dumb thing, because I'm like,
I can do it.
Why would you? Like, I'm staring at a person. He doesn't do anything different. The things that I see are very, very static. It's like a photograph. You know, my world is a photograph. It doesn't change. It doesn't go anywhere. It doesn't warp. It doesn't twist. I can't put layers over it to do different things. You know, if this is a can, it will always be a can. I can't make this into something else. You know, I can't make this can naked. I can't make
Speaking
that
of
can
naked, Axbomb wants me to take my shirt off so he can go to his happy place.
Oh! If you're lucky, Chris, maybe he'll do some little butt grooving for you later. Okay. Imaginary friends. Ghosts or made up? Now, see, having seen anything as a child, I didn't have...
And see,
Jessica McMillian says she might be half and half. Some things she can visualize, other things you can't. And you can be partially aphantasia. Fantastic.
It's like we were talking about before. There's a low, there's a high, and then there's every scale in between. You know, some people.
It's not like a switch that you just turn on and off. It's just I'm completely at the bottom and I've got nothing. But anyway, imaginary friends. See, I thought that imaginary friends when you're a kid was just that you had a really great imagination and you, like, hand me one of those. Like, you're sitting here having a tea party with little Gus Gus, and you're like, okay, Gus Gus, you sit here and I'm going to pretend that you talk to me, and that's going to be my imaginary friend. And then Jack comes, and he's like, oh boy, do-do-do, mouse, cat, ooh, who's the cool, cat. See, look, that was me having them in my imagination and having my imaginary friend. That to me was what I thought imaginary friends were. Now, what was your idea on imaginary friends?
And see, when I was younger and stuff, I thought that an imaginary friend was basically, yeah, something that some people imagined having a friend there that was talking to them. But I've got different
Little ghosty views now.
theories now on that I think that a lot of people that had imaginary friends as children were basically able to see spirits.
Yeah, see, and that's one of those things that's hard to do. Jessica says she believes in ghosts. What else have we got? No on the imaginary friends. I believe in ghosts too. I've had too many things happen. Daydreaming. Okay. So for daydreaming, you're sitting in school or at work, and I thought daydreaming was just like you kind of, because it's easy for me to shut things off in my brain because I don't have a lot going on. I mean, I'm not saying I'm stupid. I'm not stupid. But I don't have like crazy visual things and doohickeys. So it's pretty easy for me to just let my mind go blank and just kind of zone out. So I thought daydreaming was when you're just sitting there and you're just like, see, like that.
And see,
Just like that.
and see,
Zoning
for
out.
me, daydreaming, yeah, it happens sometimes. I'll be at work working on building a sign and stuff, and what's actually going on is I'm kind of zoning out the building of the sign because I built so many of these. It's repetitious. I kind of know what to do. I'm kind of zoning out building the sign while listening to my headphones, and I'm actually going through my mind of actually playing Fallout 4.
See, and that's... it's like, when I think of things, it's that card catalog thing again. It's like, oh, picture Fallout 4. Oh, picture this. But of course, it's not a picture. It's just like a reference. 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 Card catalog. That's totally how I'm going to explain it now. Okay. One of the crappiest things is when you're doing job interviews and stuff, and they say, when they're trying to do like personality tests, and they're all, imagine a pig, and then draw a pig. You know, which way is your pig facing, and how big is your pig, and is your pig doing this and that? And I'm like,
I'm trying to draw a little piggy.
I've got like this pig that's like this big, and like some people are drawing and it's because I can't see a freaking pig in my head. So how am I supposed to draw you a pig if you're not going to give me reference material? Like, I could draw you the most awesome pig if you give me a reference material. Are you going to draw me a pig? You just did, didn't you?
I just did.
Okay. All right. And the last one that I've got, unless you've got anything else, and we've kind of touched on it earlier, is when cooking, people can imagine how it will taste while adding different ingredients. So, like you're sitting there making chili, and you're all, ooh, that chili's going to be really awesome. I wonder what it'll be like if I put this in. Apparently some people can actually imagine if I put this particular pepper in, it's going to make it taste like this. Whereas I just have to pull out of the card catalog and go, okay, so I know that this and this and this goes well together based off of experience, and my card catalog tells me that this is a good idea.
So you basically have life experience recipe cards in your head.
Yes, that's a good way to put it.
Whereas for me, it's like, okay, if I throw a little too much of this pepper is going to go in there good, but if I put this much in, ow, that's burning my face off. All right.
Yeah, so that's kind of crazy. Jessica says she's awesome with cooking. Knowing how to change things with flavor, great in the kitchen. See, I love cooking. Like, I can throw all sorts of crap in something, and like, what did I make last night? It was the bomb.
Pasta.
Like, in my pasta starts off with canned spaghetti sauce, Jarrow spaghetti sauce, because it's cheap and easy, and then you just put a whole bunch of crap in it. But, so, That's what I wanted to talk about today. And since I found out about it, and what was it, right after Christmas that I found out about this? Right around.
Yeah, somewhere around.
It was either before Christmas or after Christmas. Chris says he can cook.
Yeah.
But aren't you a chef?
Yes.
That's right. But ever since I found out, I'm like, wow, it's like a whole other thing has just been opened up because, I'm into science. I love science. I like being able to understand things. And now that I look at things and I'm like, okay, so is the reason why I'm so terrible with people's names, but I'm decent with faces because my brain just doesn't lock the two of them together? Or is it because my brain is stupid? Is it because PTSD from how I was raised as a kid that just blocked it all out? But I can't ever remember seeing anything. Like, it was pretty jacked up when I was a kid because my mom's psycho. But, it's like you try to look at things and you try to figure out, is this part of A or is this part of B? Was this always like this and this is just my genetic makeup? Or is this my brain that's already jacked up because I have anxiety and depression and everything else? Do I just have one more level of something that makes it a little harder? And I don't want to say that it really... I don't feel like it's some kind of a disability or something because I've always had it. It's always the way that it is. It's like if you're born with a third arm, you don't see it as a disability because you're just born with a third arm and you just always know how to use your third arm, right? And if somebody gives you the option to take it away, you're like, but I know how to function with that. So how would you say that just because you don't like it, why is it wrong for me? So I'm not saying that it's something that...
Yeah. And see, we were talking earlier about photographic memories.
Yeah.
You were just talking about that third arm and stuff.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I have a pornographic memory. So, yeah, imagine what can be done with that third arm.
Yeah, so Ash posted a thing the other day about him and his Deadpool undies, and, here's that picture for you. I'm like, nope, sorry, I got
Thanks
nothing.
for the mental image, asshole.
I have no mental image. You could try that shit all day long. All right, well, that's kind of what I wanted to talk about because, people... I'm, over 40, and I just found out that this thing exists. And it's kind of been known for forever, but nobody's really been doing any major discoveries on it until about the 80s or 90s. The 1980s or 90s. So...
Well, people... it's not like it's something that really would come up in conversation. It's just
that's why I'm having this conversation.
Hey, oh, picture this, and you're just like,
yeah,
okay.
Exactly.
You never really say, well, I can't picture something in my mind because you've grown up like that.
You just expect that that's...
Everybody, yeah, you
just
think
expect
that that's
how everybody is. And I asked all sorts of family members afterwards. I'm like, Grandma, can you see a ball? She's like, oh, yeah. I said, can you change the color? Oh, yeah. Can you do this? She's like, oh, yeah, I could hear the birds. I could do this. So it's, they're still trying to figure out, is it a genetic thing? Is it a PTSD thing? Is it just luck of the draw?
Might be a little bit of all.
Yeah. Nobody... And I'd be interested to find out some kinds of different, study or something so that...
Oh, tell them about the Facebook site you're on.
I'm on a Facebook page for Aphantasia.
Yeah. Didn't you say there's an Aphantasia Facebook group?
Yeah, so, there's a Facebook group for everything. So all I did was I typed in Aphantasia and I found like 3. So
as I just found out today because of something my brother commented on somebody's post, he was saying that there's literally of anything you can think of, there's probably a Facebook page for, like naming goldfish. So I searched it on Facebook, and sure as shit, there's a Facebook group for naming goldfish. Only has 4 members, but the group exists.
That's right. All right, so, I guess what I kind of want people to take away from this is just remember that we're all the same, but all a little different. And, see try to open your mind to see how other people see things. Because obviously I can't see how you see things, but you know what I mean.
And you said open your mind and see
Open
things.
your mind and see the things that I can't see.
You said open your mind and see things. All it reminds me of is the Arnold Schwarzenegger Total Recall with Kawato, and he's like, open your mind.
And that's the funny thing about all of this.
And he's seeing the images.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I'm not stupid. I have all sorts of just like memory, or not memories, but memory is a bad thing. But I have like all sorts of witty things that I can pull off in my head. I have stupid science trivia things. Like anytime my family does a trivia game for holidays, I have everybody fighting over me because they're like, I want Jen on my team. No, Jen's going to be on my team. I am great at that kind of crap because I have the card catalog just stacked with all sorts of useless information. And maybe I have a great card catalog because I don't have the pictures. You know, so it's definitely, like, I can see some things where I really want to be better at art. Get to the reactor.
Get to the reactor.
So I would really like to be better at art, but because I can't see the picture, I can't do the art. So I'm terrible at drawing. I'm terrible at painting. I'm terrible at pottery. I am terrible at just about anything that requires something blank to be put in front of me, but I can do still life because there's something in front of me. I can sew because it has a pattern, and it starts with a base. You know, you give me a pattern, I can follow the pattern. And then later I'm like, oh, why didn't I think to add this detail to it, or this decoration, or this accessory? And I don't know. I just see it as something now that I can understand more about myself, and now we can look at each other and see things in different ways, and we get to have these stupid conversations where, what do you mean that's what you see? Like, tell you one thing though, I think the best comment that I saw from somebody was about people being able to bring back images from other people. She's like, if I knew that guys were going to be able to remember me, I probably would have slept with a whole lot less guys. I didn't think about that. Yeah, that's kind of awkward. When you just, like, I remember people in my life and not card catalog, chink. But it's not like I'm all, hey, remember that time back in band camp?
You got a band camp?
Alright, well, this video's been crazy long. Thank you all for participating, and I hope we all learned something about each other today. So, have fun, peace out, hug your person, bye. You made me hit this.